What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Meyer's Expeditions. I go spearfishing a lot, and I try to record every single dive, but I don't always have enough footage for a full video. These right here are those forgotten gems. As always, I'll walk you through every single dive to make you a better diver. Guys, if you've learned anything from me at all, like this video please so that more people can get to see it, and then we will see you in the water. So this first clip right here, I was diving with my buddy Wes and Tyler, and this is gonna be an Alua. But I want to talk to you guys about one kind of principle today on this kind of whole set of clips. And that's to kind of be aware of your bubble and what you're asking a fish to do. Like, you're down here, you're on the bottom, you're hunting these fish. And we know now from watching my videos, if you've been paying attention at all, you cannot go over to the fish. You've got to wait for that fish to come over to you. But that's a big ask. And you've got to kind of lay in the right spot and do the right things and be close enough to where he is to ask him to come over to you, but also not be too close that you scare him away. So that's kind of what we're going to analyze today in all these clips. So right here, I'm down on the bottom. This is probably 60 feet, and we're looking for ukus. We saw a lot of ukus. We shot a lot of ukus this day. But why am I this far out away from the reef? I'm too far. You know, I'm out here in the sand. Yes, I'm anticipating ukus. I'm not necessarily looking for the reef, but if I was over there a little bit more hidden, a little bit on that edge, right over there where those boulders are right now, I would have a smaller ask of those fish that are on the reef. I could still hunt to my right or out offshore into the sand if those ukus wanted to come over, because they're always right there on that edge. And if there was anything up there on that reef, I could ask them to kind of come down to me, and it wouldn't be too big of a thing, and I could get them within range and shoot them. So right here, I actually spot the Alua. And I do my standard grunts that I do every time I go to the bottom, and then because I see that Alua and he has to come so far, I have to keep doing more grunts to entice him to come off of his reef, leave his sanctuary, you know, his protection, his food, everything he's doing out there. And what I have to do is I have to be a small enough risk, but present myself as a big enough reward to have him come out there. I have to be food, you know, and also be non-threatening, to have him come and cross all of that reef and then all of that open space and have him come and present a shot. And through those multiple grunts and this longer dive, I'm able to do that. But it could have been a lot easier over there next to the ledge. Comes in, I get the shot. It's just an inch low of a stone shot there. He actually bends my shaft right here, which is not ideal. I've had this, I remember this shaft. I had this shaft for a long time. I was pretty sad, but oh well, that's kind of the cost of doing business some days. Managed to get him up here, get to the surface, put enough pressure on him to not let him get back into that reef. And that's kind of the goal. I get to the surface, he hasn't gone into the reef, he hasn't tied me up, he hasn't tangled me up, and then immediately Wes goes down and he puts his second shot, and I'm able to secure another beautiful Alua here. But I want to, over and over today, kind of look at that same mentality of your fish bubble, what you're asking the fish to do, and kind of go from there to make you guys better divers.
There we go. That's some Alua dip coming up.
So this is another clip here of me. Again, obviously I'm on the bottom, and I want you to kind of, again on that same theme, pay attention to what I'm asking this fish to do. You can see that big Moana Kali out there. I'm tucked up, obviously, against the rock. I'm pretty well hidden, and they've got their kind of fish ball out there, and they're kind of doing their thing, and I managed to get down without scaring them away. And now I've got to attract them over to me in a subtle way, but I've got to make him close quite a distance there, you know? And that's always kind of the balance that you've got to think about out there, is how close do you want to land to your target to not scare it away, but also how close do you want to be so that you don't have to ask him to do that much. I don't want him to travel. He's only going to travel a certain amount of distance to come and investigate me. And that's kind of what happened here. I managed to get him to come over just close enough and get that shot that I was looking for and land one of my favorite fish out here. So that last clip, I was kind of further away from the target or the ball of fish. And on this next clip, I'm gonna kind of do the opposite, where I go down and I'm right in the ball. I'm right where that fish is. I don't need to ask him to come over to me any kind of distance. All I need to do is get down and not scare him away and not scare all those little fish away. So you'll see I get right down to the bottom. I'll kind of tuck in here. I will just sit there really relaxed and then line up, and you see all those fish. I haven't scared anything. All I've got to do is line up, take the shot and stone another big, beautiful Moana Kali. So again, right here, I'm already on the bottom. I've got my face planted down. So this was a moo dive. This is a moo technique. If I see that there's one around, I'll plant my face right down in the sand, and I will just stare at the sand for as long as I can, come up really nice and slowly, and then look and see if that moo is right there. Now, a lot of times that moo is or isn't there, but what's crazy is all the other fish that love that technique as well. And again, those Moana Kalis, as soon as I stick my face up, are right in my face. I don't know how far they had to travel this time, but they're right there. Get a stone shot and another Moana Kali. So right here again, already on the bottom, and you'll see that big pile of fish will be right in front of me, and then off again to my right. And they're kind of hanging in those two boulders. And I've hid on the other side of like kind of that main reefy ledge part, and I'm waiting for them to go back and forth right there to then just kind of be able to get my shot. And you can see that that's my target right there, that Moana Kali. He's going back and forth between these boulders with all those fish. I'm tucked, I'm waiting. I'm not asking him to do very much. All I'm asking him to do is the same thing that he's been doing, and that will present a shot for me. And then right here, cruises on in, I'm able to get that stone shot. And again, you guys have kind of just pay attention to what you're doing out there on the reef and kind of what your goals are. Are you trying to get those fish to come too far, or are you too close to them? Just another thing to think about out there to kind of improve your hunting wherever you are in the world. This one right here is a pretty sick shot from just a few days ago. And again, on that same theme of what you're asking a fish to do, this is sunset. This is like the sun is already down. These fish at this time are kind of in a super aggressive kind of feeding mode. They're always a lot dumber because they're just kind of trying to get the most out of that last little bit of light to get some food. And I get down to the bottom here. I don't have to do a whole lot. I've only got this tiny little 70-centimeter roller. I was just out with Sam. I was like, I need to go get something for food. This thing doesn't have a reel on it, doesn't have a float line on it. I was just looking for tiny fish, and then this uku kind of came in out of nowhere, obviously being real aggressive. Now you see that I could have taken that shot back there, but with a small gun like this, that 70, I know that I need to wait for a good shot. And with it being so late out at night, I know that I have a really good chance of that fish coming even closer, which again, he did. Because I don't have a reel or anything like that, I've got to fight this thing all the way to the surface. I was so stoked on this uku right here. I think this was definitely probably the biggest fish I ever shot with a 70. So we got another dive right here, and again, you can see I'm in maybe 40, 50 feet of water, and I'm kind of on the edge of that roll-off, and I'm not hunting anything particular here. You'll see a little bit up above me is kind of where that kind of ball of fish is and life, and then I'll kind of look out to behind me too, out over the ledge. Maybe that's where those ukus will come from, or those uhus, or even those big Moana Kalis. So get down to the bottom, find my position, kind of get my left hand in a spot that I can easily turn my body around 360 degrees to kind of look and see what comes in. You can see there up above all that life. The joes would come from up there. The Moana Kalis might come from up there. If I look out to my back, you know, this is definitely where that uku would come in from, or those pelagic fish. Those are rainbow runners right there that could totally come in up within range. Just kind of slowly looking around and seeing kind of what I see and what opportunities present themselves. You'll see I kind of look over here to the left, and I think that uhu comes in right there, that nice big blue uhu. I don't shoot a lot of these, but every now and then I do like to take one, and he kind of just cruises right on through, presents a shot, managed to close the deal, and land this beautiful blue uhu right here. So we got another dive here, and again, this is a good opportunity to kind of see how your targets can change and evolve over the course of a dive. You know, I'm on my way down to the bottom. I don't really have any kind of agenda. I haven't seen anything already that I'm targeting, that I want to shoot at. And I'm just going to get as comfy as I can. You see that little sand patch right there? That's always kind of what I'm looking for as a place to be comfortable, to put my knees, to relax. And then I'll kind of always try and be a little bit up on my knees so that my left hand can kind of be a little bit more elevated than my knees are, so I can be as comfortable as I possibly can down there to relax and stay there as long as I can. So I'm there, I got my left hand planted, I'm turning around, I'm looking, I can see that there's a couple uhus out there in the distance. I get the gun out as slowly as possible. You saw that move right there. Extremely slow motion, because if I make any kind of rattle, if I move that gun too fast, everything is gone. And once you scare all those little fish that are coming in close right now, all those palanis, all those, you know, opelikalas, everything is leaving. So when that gun moves, it's very, very slowly and always with a purpose. I'm only moving that gun because I think that I'm gonna shoot in that direction now. And you can see it waving back and forth. I'm coming back now to the right because I think this blue Uhu's gonna present a shot. Unfortunately, he doesn't, he kind of moves off, but this red one does and kind of comes through, and then right there, I get another beautiful shot on another delicious red Uhu. And here's another gem that I filmed recently. I do not get a lot of opportunities at these big, giant, daytime lobsters. So when I saw this one, I was like, I will not screw this up. He was probably in like 60, 70 feet, and you can see he was like too big to grab. Like I couldn't even get my one hand around it, but managed to get him out away from the reef there, get my gun also, and then get him up to the surface. I don't know what it is about the daytime lobster, but it's almost like they taste better. Maybe because you don't have 20 of them at a time. You know, if you go at night, normally you get a bag full, but you go during the day and it's just kind of like a bonus. More and more lately, I seem to get myself kind of caught up in just filming the moments around me. You know, I'm out there to spearfish. That's what brought me to these kind of remote, way out of the way places and brought me down to these depths. But while I'm there, there's so much more that the ocean has to offer that you can kind of see and enjoy while you're out here. This stingray was one of them. I always film them for Sam. They're Sam's actual favorite animals. I'm always getting shots of them. And then these beautiful hammerhead sharks just school. I guess this time of year they come up and down. I know some of the boats are out there. They're just looking for these things. Just incredible to see what the ocean has to offer. It's not all about pulling the trigger out there, guys. Sometimes it's just about enjoying the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't liked it already, please do that. Again, it's all I ask from you guys. It helps this video go out to more and more people. And if you made it this far, you know you enjoyed this video, and go ahead and subscribe. And we'll see you next time right here on Ryan Myers Expeditions.